Snow blanketing Colorado roads, and nearly a dozen local school districts already have called for a snow day.
A winter storm warning in effect. How much snow you can expect in your area.
With snow falling through the night, expect a dicey morning commute. I'm Ivan Rodriguez, breaking down how CDOT is keeping the roads clear.
Ready to sick out.
They were flabbergasted and definitely wanted to take action.
Douglas County school teachers prepare for protest after school board members attempt to force the superintendent out behind closed doors.
And trouble at Dove Valley. A former NFL head coach now suing the Broncos. What he says happened when he interviewed with the team in 2019.
We begin tonight with the snow falling across Denver and Colorado. This is a live look from our city cam at road conditions on I-25 near Empower Field in Denver.
And the snow is expected to fall through tomorrow afternoon, and that already has school districts calling a snow day tomorrow.
And that list so far includes Denver Public Schools, Dougco Schools, Jeffco Schools, and Boulder Valley Schools. You can find a complete list of closures and delays running at the bottom of your screen and over on the denverchannel.com.
All right to our team coverage for tonight. Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez live in Broomfield. They're expected to get some of the heaviest snow, and he's going to break down how CDOT's preparing the roads.
But we start with Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson timing out this storm and the plummeting temperatures coming along with it. Mike?
Remember, it was 60 degrees just Monday. Let's get a look at what's happening outside. This is the view currently of what we have in Boulder, where the snow has been piling up pretty well. The big winner so far is up at Bailey, though, with 7 inches. Around the Fort Collins area, a lot of reports around a ½ foot. Monument in Kiowa getting about 5 inches. Evergreen 4, 3.5 at Westminster. Centennial's had about 3, and we've about 2.5 here at our studios. The darker colors indicate the heavier bands of snow, and we've actually expanded the winter storm warning now to include parts of Douglas County, extreme southeast Aurora, and down in Elbert County because of heavier snow has been falling there. It continues all across the Front Range up to Fort Collins into southeastern Wyoming and down across the southwest, where they're expecting 2 feet of snow around Wolf Creek Pass. The temperatures also dropping. It's 5 below right now at Craig. We're 19 in Denver, 17 Fort Collins and Greeley. Here are the headlines. The snow continues through Wednesday. Very cold temperatures below 0 by Thursday morning. Lots of difficult driving conditions.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you, Mike. Let's get another look at the roads right now. This is a live look. Highway 36 between Westminster and Broomfield. And really, the further north you go right now, the more snow you're going to see.
Tonight, Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez joining us live from Broomfield with how CDOT is preparing those roads for travel. Ivan.
We've been in Broomfield since early this afternoon, and you can already see a couple of inches of snow on the ground. It's been snowing consistently since we've been here. Behind me is Highway 36. Throughout the day, we've seen snow plows out working to keep the roads clear and traffic moving.
This is all, a kind of snow that's manageable by seasoned winter crews like ours.
Hours before the storm, Executive Director of CDOT, Shoshana Liu, said they had been preparing for the latest snowstorm.
There's active pre-treatment going on, which means that we apply the products ahead of the storm coming in. That helps with the initial line of attack.
For CDOT, that pre-treatment work is key to keeping major highways and roads open.
Making sure that we clear the main arteries while it's happening is important because it will freeze over afterwards. So the more we can do to get the major arterials like I-70 and I-25 clear in real time, the easier it will be to keep them clear after when it gets really cold.
When all is said and done, Broomfield could see more than 8 inches of snow, followed by freezing temperatures. CDOT says it moved crews from other parts of the state to help keep roads clear in the Denver metro area. This comes at a time when CDOT is experiencing a snowplow driver shortage.
This storm is actually projected to be more severe in Denver, so we're ready to bring in groups from other parts of the state where it's not snowing as heavily to support if needed.
CDOT says it's expecting the snow to pick up overnight and into tomorrow morning. In the Denver metro area, we could see more than a ½ foot of snow. They're also asking people who can stay home during the peak hours of the snowstorm to do so. Live in Broomfield, Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
All right, Ivan, thank you. Get home safely. And as you know, driving in the snow can be tricky, even dangerous when drivers aren't prepared. Denver 7's Danny New talked with a Colorado State Trooper about the #1 thing he wishes all drivers knew about snow driving.
What is the thing that you wish drivers knew?
Well, I think a common misconception is if you have all-wheel drive, your vehicle will handle better in snow. Let's say you're going 30 miles an hour. Stopping is no different than any other car that's two-wheel drive. Not all cars are four-wheel drive, but all cars are four-brake drive.
Other tips from Sergeant Kessler: don't drive with your hazards on when you're going really slowly. Also, clear all the snow from your vehicle before you head out. That includes your rear windshield.
Plows will soon hit Denver's residential streets. The city says drivers will work in 12-hour shifts starting at 3 a.m. The smaller plows will take a single pass down the center of each side of the street to keep the road passable. The plows will not remove snow off the street completely. Only a few inches of the snow will be removed, so the bare pavement is not totally exposed. And once the snow stops falling, homeowners in several communities will have 24 hours to remove the snow from the sidewalks in front of their homes. Denver, Arvada, Aurora, Lakewood, and Westminster each have 24-hour policies in place. Homeowners who don't clear their sidewalks in time could be given a fine. From the ground to the air, the snowstorm is also impacting flights at Denver International Airport. According to FlightAware, more than 100 flights have already been canceled tomorrow at DIA. At least one flight has been delayed. And we should point out that not all of the cancellations may be due to weather. Airlines have also canceled flights amid staff shortages caused by COVID-19.
The storm is also bringing extremely cold air. And XL Energy tonight has some tips on how you can save on energy costs. For one, when it's sunny, open the blinds. Let the sun do some of the warming up for you. Run your ceiling fan clockwise. That forces down the warm air. And keep your thermostat between 65 and 70 when you're at home, 58 degrees while you're out. Denver 7 meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo and traffic anchor Jason Luber will be here in the morning tracking the snow and what it's doing to your morning drive. And you can catch Denver 7 morning, the morning team right here beginning at 4:30 right here on Denver 7.
Now to the latest drama surrounding Douglas County schools. Denver 7 has learned that teachers are planning to call out sick in protest of actions by school board members.
Now, as we told you last night, 3 board members held a virtual meeting to share their concerns after learning the board's president and vice president, behind closed doors, tried to force Superintendent Corey Wise to resign. Tonight,
Denver 7's Sloan Dickey is live in Castle Rock hearing from board members and the head of the teachers union.
Yeah, we have heard from many parents and representatives for teachers. They say they are concerned with the alleged abrupt decisions by the school board to push the superintendent out.
I'm still kind of in complete shock.
One day after allegations of ethics violations came to light about the Douglas County Board of Education, outrage growing as more people speak out about a rift among board members.
I'm definitely concerned for the future of Douglas County schools.
The concern comes amid confusion about the status of Superintendent Corey Wise, who has yet to make a comment about his alleged dismissal by the new majority on the school board.
If they're going to do that, they have to honor process, protocol, the law, and really show that they truly do have the best interest for education in Douglas County.
Board President Mike Peterson is accused of giving the superintendent an ultimatum behind closed doors last week: resign or risk being fired. In a statement to Denver 7, Peterson said that any formal decision regarding the superintendent will take place during a public meeting as required by law. He also said there has been no action taken on his contract or employment status.
We need to be transparent as elected officers.
School Board Director David Ray says this is not the message he and 2 other members received last weekend. In a public Zoom meeting on Monday, he said the new school board president violated law and policy.
Since our meeting last night, this morning, we have sent to President Peterson and all the directors a request for action.
The school board has taken the district in a decisively new direction, ending the school mask policy and making major changes to its equity policy. But those in the minority say their issue is not with policy, rather procedure.
I think we're all kind of on the edge of our seat, hoping that there will be some logic in terms of those 2 directors saying, okay, we need to pause and regroup and recalibrate what we're doing.
On Thursday, the teachers union is planning a protest in support of the superintendent at the school district headquarters. Hundreds of teachers also plan to call out sick on the same day.
It's like losing your head coach. When you have the individual who has that vision and who tries to get all the pieces to work together and work as a team.
and we still haven't heard reaction from the superintendent on these developments. Now, on another note, as you can see behind me, there's a lot of snow here in Douglas County. That means that classes and after-school programs will be canceled tomorrow. During that time, the school board has a lot to discuss ahead of those planned protests on Thursday. Reporting live in Castle Rock, Sloan Dickey, Denver 7.
All right, Sloan, thank you very much. We have trouble brewing in Dove Valley. Former Dolphins coach Brian Flores now suing the Broncos. 2 other NFL teams as well, and alleging racial discrimination in the head coach hiring process.
Sports director Lionel Bienvenu is here breaking down this lawsuit and how the Broncos are responding. Lionel.
Well, yeah, guys, you heard Brian Flores is calling out the entire NFL with that class action lawsuit, discrimination in head coaching hiring process. Flores says the interviews with the Broncos was a sham, specifically mentioning them in this lawsuit. He said this about the 2019 interview. For the Broncos head coaching job, quote, John Elway, Joe Ellis, and others showed up an hour late to the interview. They looked completely disheveled, and it was obvious they had been drinking heavily the night before. It was clear from the substance of the interview that Mr. Flores was interviewed only because of the Rooney Rule. We know that Vic Fangio was later hired. The Broncos fired back with a statement of their own, quote, the allegations from Brian Flores directed toward the Broncos in today's court filing are blatantly false. The Broncos will vigorously defend the integrity and values of our organization and its employees from such baseless and disparaging claims. Now, our Broncos insider Troy Rank talked to the Broncos today. They said that interview started on time. They weren't late. It lasted 3.5 hours, and they kept detailed notes and records from the meeting. They have those records to show it was not just a formality. The Broncos also sent a quote from Flores from 2020, the next year after he interviewed with the Broncos. Flores said, quote, I thought it went well. It was great to meet the executives there and spend some time with them. I think Vic Fangio is a great coach. They got the right coach and the right people in place. It was a good experience for me personally. Now, it's notable that Elway and Ellis were not part of the most recent search when GM George Payton hired Nathaniel Hackett and he interviewed 3 minority candidates. Now, you can read the entire lawsuit. You're going to want to read it. And you can see the complete quotes as Troy's got this story covered for you right now on thedenverchannel.com. Also today, the for sale sign went up at Dove Valley. We got that story later in sports.
A tense situation ends peacefully in Boulder.
At approximately 11:07 a.m., officers were able to safely take the male into custody.
What we're learning about a former UCLA lecturer accused of threatening that school and the community he now lives in.
Denver's deputy fire chief arrested for DUI while driving an apartment vehicle. The punishment he is now facing as he steps down from his position.
It's a Denver 7 weather action day. It's really starting to come down out there. How much snow to expect in your neighborhood and when we can see sub-zero temperatures.